What up, what up, what up? Now joining the conversation. We're going to get the conversation started. It's a lot to talk about. You know who it is coming to the stage. We're going to bring him on in. Coach Ro. Let's go. Top of the AM, Coach Ro. Oh, Coach Ro got his Lions gear on. Coach
The
got his
Lions hat is in effect.
Coach
This
got his Lions.
this is a special
shoot.
this is a special moment.
This is a special edition. We should have went live
because
this
Saturday,
Uh-oh.
my Detroit Lions are going to play the Dallas Cowboys. As we know, one of our esteemed guests is a staunch Cowboys fan, and I'm going to relish in the victory of the Detroit Lions beating them.
Now, where's this game? Are the Cowboys coming to the D?
Oh, that's a great question.
Or is Detroit going down to Funky Town, as they call it?
Because let me remind the audience that I was definitely blindsided and railroaded by my colleague and our esteemed guest last week. They questioned my Detroit love for the Lions because I'm not jumping out of the window for the Lions.
I don't know who you're talking about. Please check the tape. I've asked about your Lions gear before. We got to understand about your Lions gear. Don't throw me a no.
I'm talking about. I was being railroaded.
Listen,
I was being railroaded by my. It is in Dallas, which would be even more to me exclusive in my opinion. To whoop on them. So,
well, I'm gonna be definitely tuned in. I'm back down memory lane. Y'all can see with my hat. I'm back down memory lane, remembering when the Warriors were. But Coach Ro, we ain't had a chance to chop it up a whole lot lately, so we're just gonna jump right into it. It's gonna be like rapid fire for Coach. I don't know if he's ready for everything that's coming, but we're gonna give it to him.
I'm ready.
So we're gonna start right here. I'm not spending a whole lot of time on Christmas Day, but I'm gonna talk about this guy right here, Luka Dončić.
You have to say the Don.
Oh, the Don.
The Don.
Look at the Don for sure.
Look at the Don.
Wow. What a Christmas Day performance this guy had, man. I mean, he dropped 50 on their head. He dropped 50 on their head. I think he joined the likes of, did they say like Bernard King and who else did they say? Let me check my notes here because I did some research on Luka. First of all, he was 50, 6, 4, and 3. That was the line. And he had 8 threes, 12 for 12 on free throws. He hit 10,000 points for the career. It was Bernard King and Wilt Chamberlain in Christmas Day 50-point games.
And let's say this. I like the way you started this show because he has the 50 points. You say, "Wow, that's amazing!" But rarely do you see 50 points and 15 assists. And in watching that game, they weren't slop time assists. They were in the flow of the game assists. Yeah.
Your boy created 82 of the Mavericks' 128 points by itself. 82. And so that's why I gave you the many faces. Many faces. You get that? I'm gonna keep shooting them He-Mans in there, man. Listen, I gave y'all the many faces of Luka the Don.
But you said something interesting, Cess. You said Bernard King, and who else did you say? Well, you said, okay, we don't want to say Wilt Chamberlain.
Well, Wilton Bernard.
But okay, what's interesting? Refresh my memory. I think I'm pretty correct about this. Bernard King never had the privilege of hoisting the championship trophy, correct?
I don't think Bernard got no championship.
Okay. It's just interesting that Bernard King was a parallel, I think, of a George Gervin. I think of maybe even the AI. Will the Don be one of those players that we look at and say, wow, great player, never won a championship ring? Just curious.
He's a Jordan brand player. And I think it's about time a Jordan Brand player got a championship. I don't know if has there been a Jordan Brand player that got a championship.
Technically, you could. Well, Ray Allen, but does he really count?
I mean, Jordan Brand is Jordan Brand.
Yeah, Ray
But
Allen got one.
I think that Luka is so young and so talented and so I think in chase of the ring. Like to me, Luka could have stayed where he was at and had a fine career. I think that Luka came here to get that NBA championship.
Great point. Absolutely,
So
absolutely.
it's been, somebody's been getting up, going and playing professional basketball since they was like what 6. So I mean, hear about something, figure out how to get it for him down there in Dallas, or he's gonna get the fuck out of Dallas, y'all. So either they're gonna bring some talent down there and put it around him, and I don't know, I don't know if it's not Kyrie. I don't know that they can't su- survive. I don't know that they can't win. It was interesting that Mark, I think, sold part of the team and is just still over basketball operations or something now. Uh,
Mhm.
so be interesting to see if they still stay as player friendly and as spin friendly as they have been in the past. But Luca's here about a ring. He's not here about anything else. He had already had world dominate, like real world domination. So I don't know if he'll
Okay.
get one as a Dallas Maverick,
Okay.
but
Okay.
Luca the
Okay.
Don gonna get one before you get out of here.
Okay. So let's do some hypotheticals. If he stays a Dallas Maverick, because here's the thing. On our show, we like to talk about different eras, and that's why I like our conversations because we go deep into errors like trans patterns. Okay, I look at if somebody's going to be successful compared to who they're competing against. So if you were to say, whose era is this right now in the NBA? Like whose era is it? I know we had a couple shows saying we have new faces of the league. We got Ant-Man. We got Halliburton. That's the new, but whose era would you say it is right now? As far as like my league, you have to go through me to win. Is there a person guarding the gate like that right now? Like, is it
No,
Giannis?
I guess they'll call him the king. How many
Not
Giannis got?
Giannis. Okay, okay.
How many Giannis got?
He got one.
Oh, well, you can't guard the gate if we put
Um,
everybody put their jury on the table and I got as many as you can't be in charge. You
I
understand?
I thought
And
you were
Joker's
going.
got Joker
I
got one.
I thought you were going to say Steph.
Um,
I think it's Steph's era. Steph has four
Steph is,
rings,
if I'm being
but
honest, Steph is 35.
but still, I guess I'm saying the errors. Like, okay, for example, we can look at players like we can look at Patrick Ewing and say, let's be honest, the only reason Patrick Ewing, PU as I call him, does not have a ring is because of the great Michael Jordan. We can say that. We could say that Reggie Miller does not have one because of the great Michael Jordan. We could say that Elijah Wan has two because the great Michael Jordan wasn't there for those 2 seasons. I mean, this is just where my mind goes with it. Who's the gatekeeper right now? Do we even have a gatekeeper? I don't know. I don't want to take
After
away from
I want to
the
say this,
Don
I'm sorry.
segment, but I'm
I
just
don't. I
saying.
want to.
Yeah.
I wanted the dream. I just want to back up to the dream now. The way I heard the story about him slapping the shit out of that man, I don't know that he wasn't a gatekeeper. Okay, I don't know that he wouldn't have got more than two. Uh, sometimes I wonder about the
Oh,
cast. Sometimes I wonder about the cast that was around the dream.
the Dream was the best player aside from Michael Jordan in that
If
era.
Barkley gets to Houston earlier, are they different?
That's a great question. I'm going to, you know why I'm going to say no?
I mean,
Because that dream team, not the dream team, Akeem Olajuwon's team, those 2 years at one, they introduced a style of basketball that we hadn't seen, which was a center and literally four shooters. You have the paint, and I'm gonna kick it out to my shooters. We had never seen that before. We'd never seen Sam Cassell, Kenny Smith, the way them guys, Vernon, the way these guys was just shooting Drexler. We was like, how? What type of offense is this? People thought. I remember when that was occurring,
you
people were
put
saying
the
this isn't gonna last.
round mound of rebound into that,
Like I said,
and
I don't.
and the only reason I say that is because when I roll it out now, who guards who? Because is Horace gonna check Barkley?
But you got to think about it this way: they
Is
beat
Horace gonna check Barkley?
uh, is who?
Horace. Is Horace gonna check Barkley?
Horace who?
Horace Grant in Chicago.
Oh,
We
I'm
made
sorry.
up.
I'm sorry.
They made up.
Well, no. I see. I was going. Yeah,
Hold on.
I was
Is
going.
Horace gonna check Barkley?
See, I was going a step past. I was going to the actual championship, and I'm thinking about that Shaq team that the Dream beat with Charles Barkley on the other side. Orlando may have had a better chance.
I'm not at Shaq yet. I'm still back at Jordan, and
Yeah.
you got these two.
No, he wouldn't. Answer your question. No, he wouldn't. He wouldn't. But I think it changes the dynamic of that team.
Listen. When I think about Stevie Kerr and Jed Bushler and then running out there Mario Elie and Kenny the Jet Smith, and Vernon Maxwell.
Don't forget Sammy. Don't forget Sammy.
Cassell. I don't know if there's enough dogs on that team in Chicago.
But that was the whole point. You didn't need one. You didn't need it.
Hey, when you put the round-mounded rebound down there with them dudes. Okay, you heard Vernon talk about Akeem slapping him. Okay, you understand that. Now you got Maxwell. Now you heard Maxwell talking. You got Maxwell pacing back and forth during layup lines, just mean mugging down. Ain't did a layup yet. And you got Charles talking down there, chirping. That's a lot. That's a lot of firepower to have to deal with. Michael had to start lifting weights to deal with Lambeer.
That's a fact.
And Ricky Mahorn and them. So around my rebound, Mario Elie, all them guys down there. I just don't know. I don't know. I don't put anything past MJ. I think that the team around MJ would have had to have looked a little bit different. If Charles had got to Houston earlier, but we can talk about that another time.
So here's a question I have for you. I want to bring you back to the great way we started off this show with Luka the Don. What can Luka the Don do with his team this year?
I don't know. Let me tell you what my problem is with Luka the Don.
Mm-hmm.
The whining.
Mm-hmm.
The back and forth with the refs about the fouls and all of that. And I don't know if that's just the differences between international play and NBA
Absolutely
play.
It is. Absolutely it is.
But I feel like Luka, when he gets mad, he has the body type and the physicality to go ahead and just play. And after he gets bumped around a few times, he goes ahead and just plays. But the back and forth with the refs.
No, Cess. I think you just hit it. The international game rules are way more strict than NBA rules. And he's used to, again, let's be clear, he's had more of his career internationally than in the NBA.
So maybe it'll take another season or so.
Exactly. Those bumps and stuff like that. Because the stuff that he whines about, like you said, you're looking like, welcome to the NBA. Like, what are you whining about?
Well, I think too, Luka came back to he came in this season, I think, maybe in better shape than before, if I remember.
Absolutely he did. But
I think Joker came back not so much in shape, but Luka came back really in shape. What
is he gonna do? Like, seriously, no, you got to give me something here. What is Luka doing with the Dallas Mavericks this season? Are they a first round?
He's going to the playoffs.
Second round? Are they second round? They're going to the second round?
I'm the jury is still out on that. I want to see a little bit more with Kyrie. I want to see them help with a healthy Tim Hardaway Jr. and Kyrie.
Does Kyrie mess up his flow right now, though, when he comes back? Does Kyrie mess up this dominance that we're seeing with Luka the Don right now?
We going down the road I didn't want to go down.
No, okay, I'm just saying. I mean, we talking about Luka
Here we go.
Because
see, I'm not a big Kyrie fan, right? I'm not a big Kyrie fan.
Neither am I.
Kyrie's genius makes it where he doesn't have to be an interruption to anybody's game if he doesn't want to. When Kevin Durant says that Kyrie Irving is an artist with that basketball, he's an artist. That man is a savant when it comes to the game. So he can go with the flow or interrupt the flow if he wants to. And that is the challenge with Kyrie, because does he want to go with the flow or does he not want to go with the flow? And that is it's only up to Kyrie. You
Okay.
can't coach that. You can't critique that.
Mm-hmm.
You can't manage that.
Mm-hmm.
You can't punish that. It's totally up to Kyrie. He's a savant with that thing. So
Okay. Okay.
no, he could definitely work in Dallas if Kyrie wants to.
All right. Now I'm going to quote one of our favorite players. Both of us share this audience. The late Kobe Bean Bryant. Okay. Kobe Bean Bryant on one of his episodes of Details. I will highly recommend, audience, that you, I think they're on ESPN Plus, some of the greatest, in-depth analysis of players and offenses that I've ever seen. And it shows just how smart Kobe Bean was. In any case, there was an episode that he had where he identified what was called the two king system. And this was when it was Kyrie and LeBron when they made their championship run. So the question says, can Luka the Don and Kyrie recreate the two king system? This is why I asked, how far can Dallas go? The two king system that Kobe Bean Bryant broke down in great detail took the Cleveland Cavaliers to the championship under circumstances that nobody thought that they would win a championship in. Could they recreate that? It was an excellent piece, by the way. I would strongly recommend everybody look that one up. The two king system. Mm-hmm. I told you I was ready this morning, Seth. Let's
No,
go.
I don't think so.
Mm.
I don't think so. I don't
Okay.
think so. I don't think that only because um, LeBron also is a basketball savant. Um, and LeBron had a lot more say in the pieces that were around him to be able to carry out a two king system. I don't feel like even though we call him the Don on the floor, I don't feel like Luka's calling any shots in Dallas.
Absolutely
I
not.
don't
I
feel
agree.
like I don't feel like Luka's saying anything about what's around him. And I don't know if that's because again, from him being an international player where you kind of just go with what's on the floor. And him not, not not being a US born AAU playing um I'll, you know, bam my way out of here type of guy. I don't know what that is. I just don't feel like he's calling any plays. And if he had an
That's a good point.
opportunity,
Mm-hmm.
he would call for some different type of
Mm-hmm.
support down there around him.
I agree with that. That's a great point, Seth. I think that's youth. I mean, I think Luka's only what, 24?
Yeah, he's
He's still
24.
very young. Like
Yeah,
he's very young. I mean, he still plays, and I'm
I mean,
not saying anything against hacky sack. One game he was playing hacky sack with his friends before the game. I mean, he's still a kid. You know
like
what I mean?
Luca, Luca still, I don't know about this season, but still, cracks a beer, goes and gets a beer before the game.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
he's still figuring it all out, but
He
he's
was
also
eating pizza one time. He had a
had a
slice
lot
of
of
pizza one
success.
time. Yeah.
Um,
Great segment though. So that's great
but
way to start.
uh,
Give credit to Luka to die. Luka to die.
the names that he's already being mentioned with, that he's already synonymous with, the Will Chamberlains, the Bernard Kings, just says that he's on his way to greatness. The way the Jordan Brand snatched him up, I think he's been stamped. I think sometimes it's funny too. Um, and I don't know how to say it without just saying it, but so there's a part of basketball, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, where it's not racist, but there's the white boy in basketball kind of thing,
Mm-hmm.
like the white man can't jump. Where sometimes I feel like on the court they're mad, they get actually mad at Luca for what he's doing,
Mm-hmm.
and go harder at him. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not a, it's not, and I don't want people. It's not a racist thing. If you understand what I'm saying, it's not a racist thing. It's a, oh man, you from you from you from here, kind of
Mm-hmm.
thing. I don't know. It's a connection. I don't know. It's something that's been around the game for as long as I can remember. Right, wrong, or indifferent. Uh, but he gives He gives folks fits.
Mm-hmm. I
He
agree.
gives folks
I agree.
fits.
He's not one of those. Well, because of the complexion, that he can't go shot for shot with me. He's not one of those. It's
And
quite the
now
opposite.
he'll go trash talk for trash talk with you. Like I like Luka. I just wanted to stop whining. So this is great music that you got on right now because the next subject you're gonna be surprised that I went here, but here we go.
Oh boy.
So let's transition to my dubs because y'all know I talk about them. I usually lead with them, but I had to look out the way. I guess we in a situation. I've been seeing some stories coming up that are asking, is Jonathan Kuminga in his growth and development putting the Warriors in a position where we have to trade Andrew Wiggins? Y'all know I'm totally against trading Wiggs, but what's current is what's current, so we're gonna have to talk about it.
This is one of the best moves, unfortunate for Wiggins, that Golden State can do right now without parting ways from Draymond Green. This is one of the best bargaining chips they have to get return on investment from a player on their team. They can get potentially a high draft pick or a high profile player. And I still think that the buzz would be with marketing because Utah stinks right now. No disrespect to the Utah fans that are tuning in. But if we can think of any of the good players that are just kind of stuck right now, the list we talked about a few shows ago, I think that all of those players will be on the table as potential trade partners that would enhance what Golden State is trying to do. See, Golden State is thinking ahead of the game. Golden State is thinking we may be able to bring somebody in and still have Kuminga coming off of the bench. We're part of that bench mob with CP3 and the rest of the cast to keep the team afloat. Because I've noticed very clearly, I know this is very cliche, but when the starters sit down, the flow of the game changed a little bit for Golden State. Now, I will say their bench has been phenomenal, but it's hard to get a gauge on the bench because a lot of them have to get started into the starting lineup recently. So it's kind of hard to see the actual bench mob that they're accustomed to having because they keep shifting different people in the starting lineup. So
I think that's just their goal.
yeah, to get everybody
You
some
don't know
experience.
you don't know what you're gonna get. Be
Mm-hmm.
prepared for anything. Uh,
This might be it.
what I
Where
heard,
there's
what I
smoke,
heard
there's
Steve Kerr
fire.
say, what I heard Steve Kerr say was that the question was, are you going to be able to play them on the floor at the same time? And basically, you get a lot of repeat. You get a lot of the same skill set with both of the players on the floor.
Now,
Uh,
wait, Sess, and I'm sorry.
this is this is this is
I rarely cut
this
you
is
off. I
this is
know it didn't come from
this,
you.
this is Steve's words
I know,
now.
I know,
These
I
are
know it didn't
Steve's
come from
words.
you, and I rarely cut you off. But I gotta say, you called me out on something like that a while ago, even though I was quoting somebody. I'm calling Bula Bula on that. No, Steve, you have made it a point, a career, to have similar skill set players on the floor at the same time, which makes you unorthodox and hard to match up against to play. So I'm not buying that, Steve. Don't come with something better, Steve. I'm with a better excuse, Steve. That's not gonna get it. That because they have similar skill sets. I'm not buying that. And I will go on a limb and think that you're not buying that.
Well, I wasn't at first, and then I started thinking about what is it that we really want Wiggs to do. Stretch out to the three sometimes. You see Kuminga out at that three. He's knocking it down a little more regularly now. Not a corner specialist or anything, but he'll surprise you and hit it. Uh, Slash to the basket when nothing else is going on. because Wiggs was getting some tremendous dunks on people in the last couple seasons. Kuminga's doing that. To have them both on the floor at the same time, then kind of crowds up to run into the basket when I already kind of got Draymond and Looney down there. So I can see not wanting to play them on the floor at the same time. But I don't see getting rid of one of them. I think that you keep one for the bench and one for the starting lineup. And I feel like, to me, it seems like Kuminga's playing better in the starting role, and Wiggins looks more like himself coming off the bench, even though he's never come off the bench before. And he made it really clear when he was asked about coming off the bench that he's playing hard to get out of the doghouse to get back into that starting rotation. So, just at some point, it's just not enough minutes to go around, especially if everybody is playing at a level where they deserve minutes, And then I still got to bring Gary Payton II back into this, and at some point, Draymond Green fits back into this some kind of way, I guess, unless there's a move made there. So,
which I think still leads to a trade.
I'm partial to Wiggs, though. I'm still partial to Wiggs. I wouldn't give up Wiggs. I already went to war with him.
If they're gonna make a move, this is the best move that they can make. As a matter of let's do this. Let me see something.
I don't know. It depends on what Wiggs could bring back.
Let me see something real quick. I want to look at Wiggs' contract.
It depends on what Wiggs could bring back.
What is his contract?
Surprisingly, I thought that the Lakers were going to push for Zach LaVine. It looks like they're more interested in DeJounte Murray now. And I heard that the Warriors had some interest there as well.
Yeah, I think one of the problems is they have the Russell show is over in LA.
Oh yeah, he's out of there. Yeah, he's not gonna make it.
But who's gonna take him though? That's the question. They're gonna have to package him up. So he signed a 4-year, $109 million contract. But when did he sign this? He's gonna earn $24 million in 2023. But how long is the contract? Let's see. Okay, it's through the 26-27 season. So they just signed him.
Yeah, for sure.
So this is interesting. All of the Golden State Warriors players are kind of, the more we dig into this, and this was unintentional, we may see some of the discrepancies and the attitudes of some of the other players that didn't get the money that they thought they deserved. Because you figure what? Andrew Wiggins is getting $24 million a year. I think Draymond's getting 28, right? And they offered Clay 28, right? For 2 years? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So he's signed until 26-27. So if they just got rid of him, which they would never do, they would get a hit of $24,330. Dead cap value of the same amount. So I mean that's a good number to work with.
Dead cap.
Huh?
We ain't worried about no dead cap.
Yeah. I just wanted to throw that out there just for those that are geeks with the numbers like me. Or like us. Yeah.
I'm interested in I've been seeing so many different things, right? I saw one, Nikola Vukovic and Alex Caruso for Chris Paul, a 2026 first round pick and a 2028 first round pick.
No way. Who would be dumb enough to do that? Chris Paul's not worth that. Sorry. No.
Well, if Chicago's having a fire sale, what does it matter?
You said Vukovic and who else?
Caruso.
I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one.
Just something I heard out there. It's going to be interesting to watch.
I mean,
I don't want to see
now,
Wicks
we'll
go.
say Caruso look real. He definitely, if there's a such thing, has a warrior mentality, and
And I'm gonna tell you
he
somebody.
has championships.
I'm gonna tell you somebody who I wish we could get back.
Who?
DiVincenzo.
Yeah. He's another one where it's almost like he's punished because
he had to go get his money. I'm not mad at him,
but he's punished because of his game. Like people, they don't fight to like keep him up. You know what I'm saying? It's like well, you're kind of expendable, but why wouldn't you pay him? He does everything on the floor. I like DiVincenzo. I like him.
I like him a lot, but we couldn't pay him and pay everybody else he was paying. That's all.
Well,
so remember, as Coach Burson pointed out, sometimes we let people go get their money and come back. So if he's not happy in New York, I don't know why he wouldn't be welcome back as a Warrior.
Well, wait a minute. Why would the Warriors wait? You said the other player was Vukovic. He's a power forward, right?
Center forward.
Okay, that's a believable trade because they need size.
Yeah.
They need size.
For sure.
Which is why I thought marketing would have been mentioned.
No, that was just one of those I seen out there floating back and forth. But this is gonna be an interesting one to watch. I'm definitely in my feelings on this one. So I'm fighting for you, Wiggs. You got a haircut and everything for us, so I'm fighting for you.
I don't know. All roads are leading to he may be on his way out.
I'm glad we talked about that because that was a perfect segue into what I want to talk about right now about somebody leaving the city. Ooh, it's on fire in the Motor City, ain't it? It is a dumpster fire right now. 27 losses in a row. Man, come on, talk to me, Coach. Everybody at the Lions game. Ain't nobody pay attention to the Pistons?
Oh, they are. The city is tuned in. Okay.
So Cade. Give me Cade's stat line from the other night. What do you have? What did he drop? 40? 41?
Yeah, he had 41. But here's the thing. I watched that game, and I wanted to pay attention to something that you and I had talked about, the body language.
Okay.
I agree. Cade, he looked uninterested the first 2 quarters of that game. And they had an analysis afterwards, and they were talking about how, maybe he was getting his team involved and wanted to give them some things to do. And then Greg Kelser, who I love to death, just flat out said, no, this is on Cade. I'm not exactly sure why he did what he did. But what was equally interesting is, and for you all, I was actually in contact with Cess because there was some persuasion on watching another game, and I had to watch the post interview with Coach Monty Williams. And Coach Monty Williams said, well, yeah, I think there may have been some fatigue in the first half with Cade Cunningham.
Tired of taking butt whipping.
That wasn't fatigue. That was, can somebody else do something on this team for us to try to win? Now, I agree. Cade, take 40 shots a game. Because clearly when you put your mind to it, you were effortlessly able to get 41 points. Here's the problem with the Pistons. The next highest player was Bogdanovich with 23 points. And I was frustrated because in the first half, it's like they were running the offense through Bogdanovich.
Bogdanovich put up 23. What did you want him to put up? 30? 35?
No.
Come on.
What I'm saying is
he put up 23. He put up 23. That's a solid Bogdanovich performance.
But his volume.
And let's just say this. Mm-hmm. Let me just say this about Cade when he picked it up in the second half and went off. It seemed like, I don't know if somebody called him or he got a text or it just was something hit him in his own mind that was like, ooh, I could be auditioning to get out of here. I could be auditioning to get out of here if I go do something. So it was like a light switch went off. I don't know. Listen. He might have just been too light skinned for the Motor City, man, and everything that we put on him. Okay, it might have just been too much for him to take at a young age, man. Because the skill set is there. Okay, the skill set is there, and I wasn't sure. He's a hell of a ball player. The youngster deserves an opportunity to go somewhere fresh. Fresh start. Fresh start. Fresh start. Maybe like Chicago.
Okay, look. Here's
Okay, come on.
here's why we can't say fresh start. Okay, I've been spending a lot of time looking at this. There's nobody for him to play with, Cess. There's nobody on the team.
Here's the thing.
They highlighted Jalen Duren, who had 12 points and 15 rebounds.
But here's the thing. Nobody is coming. Nobody's coming.
No, I agree.
Nobody's coming.
I agree, but I think that the Pistons are going to say, okay, and I have to look at this. I have not looked at this yet. Who are the players coming out of the draft? Okay. There was also a great point mentioned by the analysts in Detroit. They said, hey, look, Detroit has faced one of the worst draft pick situations while being one of the worst teams when they had Jaden Ivey, when they picked him number 5. They said that was the worst case scenario because they had the 5th overall pick, despite being one of the worst teams in the NBA. So that's the part that scares me. They're definitely going to be in a lottery again this year. But the question is, what pick will they get? Who's coming out this year? Like, I have no idea. I saw a tentative list, and there were a lot of centers coming out, but these had a lot of, well, I'm not going to disparage these young men. I wasn't excited about any of the players that were ranked as coming out in the first round. I looked at it, but I didn't dive in to see who would be one of those players. But look at
when is somebody going to say? When is somebody going to say that the problem in Detroit is the front office? When is somebody going to say the problem in Detroit is the front office? Name the Pistons that have left in the last 5 years and picked up rings. KCP, my man in Milwaukee. Who else? I mean, people come here. They get drafted here. Don't tell me that. How happy would Cade be to be playing with a KCP? Playing with a what's my man's name in Milwaukee?
Middleton.
These were the pieces that were supposed to be here already building something. Come on, man.
This is fire playing, by the way.
Yeah, I hear you. It's burn, baby, burn. Do you hear me? Burn, baby, burn. This is a fire.
But
come on, man.
But here's the thing, though. Look.
When is somebody going to say the problem is the front office?
I agree. It is the front office.
But nobody's saying that.
That's true. Well, no. They're going at the owner. They are calling out the owner.
Okay.
They are. Okay. Speaking of that, wait a minute. Did you hear?
Do we think? Is the owner Jerry Jones? Is the owner up making the everyday, day-to-day decisions?
He's not
about what's going on.
Did you hear what the owner said recently?
No.
He said, "Well, look." He said, "Look, you're talking about sell the team. I'm doing charitable things in the city, and you should be very happy and proud of what I've done."
I mean,
I'm gonna keep playing this till they win a game.
It's the only game in town, right? It's the only game in town. Statewide, Ohio, Indiana. It's competitive. A lot of basketball in these 3 states. But I'm just saying, man, like, nobody's coming.
But nobody. I get that. But
nobody's coming. We got a new arena. We got the music scene going here.
The new arena is all hockey. That's a hockey arena.
Okay. I'll give you that. We got the music scene here. It's hotter than it's been in a long time. We got Tubi shooting movies every day here. Okay. It's a lot of stuff going on in the city. It's a lot of good going on in the city. People keep perpetuating this murder D, I guess, reputation out there. And I'm not gonna say that we don't. The city doesn't have its challenges, but what city doesn't right now? But Detroit isn't like what they crack it up to be all the time, as far as like being just the worst place in the world that you can end up. That's ridiculous. It's
But
not. It's not that.
okay,
So we
so
got to get rid of that
mhm.
narrative, but we also got to get a different type of a different something different going on in the front office. And I feel like it starts with the front office connecting back with the city. So the charitable stuff, okay, I'll check on that.
Oh,
But
it's
just
that- it's
being
that. Oh, that was definitely smoke and mirrors. Who cares? I agree with what you said on that. That nobody cares about that. Put a winning product on the floor. Don't deflect your inability to have oversight of the front office as an owner with your charitable thing. That was it was really to me disrespectful to the city, and it was a big. I'm surprised when you didn't call me and we talked about that. It was all over local media. They were all over it. They said, "Hey, how is he going to come out here?" Basically, I'm giving you all a handout. You should be thankful that I'm doing this charitable stuff and deflecting that your team stinks. And again, this goes back to Detroit leveraging their team on a one-legged star who was at the end of his career, being Blake Griffin. They sacrificed the one-legged star who they thought past star to make the playoffs, knowing they were going to get swept. By the way, I was at 2 of those games for nothing. Everybody knew they was going to get swept. They were perfectly fine with getting the buzz of being in the playoffs, getting swept, and leveraging their entire future by trading for him. Now, was that the beginning of the downfall? No, but it played a huge part in it. We gave up some great assets to acquire Blake Griffin, and it's been downhill ever since. Downhill. So I agree. The front office has been absolutely horrible. Horrible.
so yeah, absolutely. So give this young man a chance. Let him go.
No, can't do that, Chet. You got to see what's going to happen next. You got to see.
See what's gonna happen with what?
So look, listen to this.
Do you see something on
Let's
the G
let's
League
let's
team?
let's let's start from 2000. Let's go 2019. Let's be fair, okay? Draft picks. Okay. Round 2, number 45, Isaiah Roby. Have you ever heard of him? Because I haven't. He played for Nebraska. Nowhere on the
Okay,
team.
no disrespect, but no, I don't. And
Okay.
I
Right.
it's probably not. I'm probably not the one that asks. I don't watch a whole lot of
2019,
college.
number 1 from France, Sekou Doumbouya. Where is he at?
Okay, no idea.
Here's where it got real bad. 2020, number 7 overall, Killian Hayes.
Okay,
I'm just doing okay. I mean, we could talk about the second round. 2021, no disrespect. They got Luka Garza from Iowa. I don't even think he's in the league anymore. He was a second round pick. Isaiah
okay,
Livers, he's on the bench.
okay.
Um, JT Thor from Auburn, I don't think he's on the team anymore. And 2021 is when they drafted Cade Cunningham as number 1.
Okay.
Then move us to this year. 2022. The highest pick in 2022, it was Jay Ivey. And it had another player from France, Kamagate. I don't know who that is, second round pick in 2022. And then this year, who actually been pretty good, Marcus Sasser was 25 overall. And then you had Ausar Thompson. So when you look at those draft picks, you think about, okay, you're drafting like you already have a team in place to just add some pieces to it. And you're not. You're stuck in a situation where you have to either overpay players that are already past their prime, or you have to draft well. The Pistons have not drafted well in a long time. I hope that Cunningham isn't another example of that. I hope not. But we have to see.
Oh no, we don't. Let this young man go. Let this young man go. Because see, I think the problem, since the problem is the front office, there also isn't a there's no organization that's furthering basketball with these young men as they coming into the organization and into the league.
Okay.
There's no veteran leadership anywhere that anybody respects. or knows it. With all of these Detroit Pistons living legends walking around, there's no veteran leadership. There's no connection back. There's none of that. I don't see any of that. I don't see any of that. So
Okay.
it's almost like they got hit with the color purple curse. Like until you do right by me, I'm just saying.
Okay, look, I was watching Kendrick Perkins came on the other day. He said some things that I disagree with, but I like Kendrick Perkins because she's pretty straightforward.
That's why that's what makes KP great. He always gonna say something you don't agree with.
Right. Kendrick Perkins came on and said the entire panel was saying similar to what you're saying now. Get Cade out of here, blow the team up. And Kendrick Perkins said, look, I was on a team that lost, I think they said 24 straight games. We were young, and they were doing the same thing. They were chanting, "Fire Coach Rivers." He said we were young. We had to figure it out. He was like, that season gave us so much experience that we came in the next season and achieved much, much better than what.
Who was on the team with Kendrick?
That's a great point. Yeah. Yeah, the winning years, we all know who was on the team with him.
Okay, so Cade don't got no. Cade look around, he don't see nothing like that around him. Okay, nothing like that around him. So I just think it was too much for him. He may be somebody that just hoops.
Well,
and that's okay.
Cade Cunningham is quoted as saying, told his teammates, "Don't jump off the boat."
He did. He had some great. Insight for the team. Hold on. Won't be long.
There's no way that they're going to part ways with the number 1 overall pick unless there's like some type of monumental blockbuster where there's a superstar somewhere in the league that says, I don't care where I go, get me out of here. That's the only scenario I can see of getting somebody else.
How many seasons does Cade have to give him before he should ask out?
I think this is his what year? What did I say? This is his
what is this, number 3?
This is his second year. He was drafted in 21. So this is his second year. Right? Is that right? Am I wrong?
Mm-hmm.
So he got drafted in 2021. So yeah, 22, 23. So this is his second year. I think that the Pistons are going to get very nervous when they have to. As a matter of fact, they may start talking about his next contract at the end of the season for fear of him leaving. Okay, for year 3. Yeah, so
he got one more year.
1 more year is an option, right?
He played 64 games in 21-22. He was hurt 22-23, so he only played the 12 games. Mm-hmm. And then he's done 30 so far this season.
Right. Small sample size.
36 months in Detroit is a small sample size?
No, I'm talking about the games played. I'm talking about the games played. I'm talking about the game.
I'm talking about how long does he need this? How long should he stay before he says?
I don't think that's a fair question. I think we have to go by how long he stays based off of how much he's been on the floor.
Kevin Garnett. Don't be a Kevin Garnett.
How much he's been on the floor.
No, I don't think it has anything to do with how much he's been on the floor.
I think that the Pistons are going to get nervous at the end of this season, and his agent's going to get a call.
I'm talking about Cade. I'm talking about Cade. How long should he be here? He's been here 36 months. What is he seeing? What does he see seeing the front office do different?
They hire money. That's the answer to the question.
Money can't lace him up.
But they have,
Money's not lacing him up. Money's not lacing him up. And Money has lost 27 in a row. I don't even know if this man has lost 27 games in his career before he got to Detroit. Understand?
You asked the question.
Okay.
What they've done different was
I took your answer. Williams. And I took your answer. Okay, that's all you've done in 36 months.
Sad but true.
How much longer do I have to sit around?
Before I realize if I'm Cade.
And then here's the other part of that.
if I'm
How
K,
much power do I think Monty Williams really has? How many shots is Monty really calling?
Monty Williams, that's a good question. I think that Monty Williams is calling $70 million worth of shots. They just signed him.
Okay.
It would not be in the Pistons' best interest to part ways with somebody you just signed a $70 million contract with.
Okay.
So that's my answer.
Russell,
I know that's pretty generic, but
Sean Payton is sending Russell Wilson right out of Denver, ain't he? With 85 million. Okay. And it only took one season. It didn't even take all 18 weeks for Sean to understand. So again, my question is, K, he's been here 36 months. How long does he wait?
I think he waits until next season by All-Star break.
Okay.
I do.
Okay.
Because here's why I say that.
Okay.
K's going to listen at the end of the season. He's going to listen to some promises. He's going to listen to some. I think his agent is going to say, "You better not entertain any contract extension," because that's what the Pistons are going to try to do. They're going to try to sneak into the back door and give him a front-loaded, shorter-term deal, max-like, to keep him there. Okay, which is what they're supposed to do. He was the number one pick. He's going to ignore that, and he's going to see, hey, what are you all going to do for next season? And by All-Star break, we may see a different attitude from K. That's my thought. So if K, give it till next All-Star break.
Hey man, if I didn't see nothing happening here around All-Star season, there'd be some smoke in the city with me leaving. Come the end of this season.
Nope.
I'd be getting right out of here. I'd be trying to get down there to play with Wimbenyama, or
I'd
be trying to get over to New York.
If I'm K, this is what I'm gonna do.
Cause K don't have enough pull to get nobody to come play with him right now. He ain't enough in the league.
But
nobody's coming to play with him, man.
If I'm K, I'm watching the film of when I hit 41, and let's just call it what it is, 2 quarters.
Yeah, okay.
And I'm gonna say,
so
tell you what,
20 minutes worth of work.
Tell you what.
Mm-hmm.
Every game I'm coming out with that type of mentality. I don't care if I'm passing up players. I'm shooting. I'm going to get mine. I'm going to get my stats, because this is going to help me to improve my portfolio for next year. Somebody might call me.
Kate, you're a point guard. Get on down there with Jason Kidd. Get that ball out of Luka Dončić's hands and go to work, man. Go to work. Oh, and that's if Kyrie doesn't work out, but I'm just saying, man, get you somewhere with somebody else that want to win.
Love Kyrie, but Kyrie never works out. So let's just.
He's a basketball savant.
Look, I love
everybody. Everybody has. I give everybody opportunity to grow. I haven't heard Kyrie's name in no bullshit all season
because he hasn't played.
Okay. So what? He wasn't playing before, and his name was always.
He was making a point. He was burning incense, saying he was doing that on purpose. He wanted out. So he made a lot of noise.
I don't know. I'm giving Kyrie the benefit of the doubt. I haven't heard Kyrie's name in nothing in a minute. So, I'm hoping that he is on his way back to good health and getting ready to give us some good basketball.
What happened to him?
I don't even know what the injury is.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't even know what the injury is. I would have to look it up, but. I love his game. That's Uncle Drew.
That's you something else. You say, Cade, come here. I need to get out of there. Come on,
Cade. Make a run for it, Cade.
Sass, come on.
That's all right. So let's see what we got next. We're getting back to these top 5 all time.
Mm-hmm.
We left off with old Bubba Chuck here. The answer. Allen Iverson.
You got to tell me why top 5.
He changed the league. For me, outside of Michael Jordan and before Steph Curry, the person that had the most impact on changing the league. I don't know if you want to talk about cornrows, tattoos, hip hop, fur coats, throwbacks. We talking about practice. He was a meme before people were memes.
That's true.
He did it all. Good, bad, ugly, indifferent, right in the camera for us to see. Rapper. A lot of layers to him.
But do you measure his great? Is he in your top five because of what he changed, or I mean, what's your criteria for your top five?
So remember I said it was all. So mine is always gonna be hard overhead. So is what he achieved in the league as a little guy.
Okay.
Uh his overall game, impact, impact on the game,
Mm-hmm.
legendary, memorable moments,
Mm-hmm.
relevance after the game.
Whoa, tell me more about that.
Oh, relevance after the game.
Yes,
When somebody say Michael Jordan coming, tickets sell out, don't they?
that's true.
Somebody say Magic Johnson coming, tickets sell out. No disrespect to anybody, but somebody say Scottie Pippen coming, it might sell out.
Okay.
Somebody say the answer coming, they lined up around the block at the ticket box just because he in the building.
Okay. Okay.
Because the regular guy identifies with this guy a lot like Steph Curry because of the stature. If I work hard, I probably could do what he could do. Not understanding he's a generational talent.
Um.
Generational talent.
Yeah.
Uh, didn't get the championship, but that's because he got in his own way. Uh, in my top five, also because of his ability to self reflect and admit that he got in his own way. um, he was one that people wanted the youngsters wanted to be like. They got their hair braided. They wore the three. The league changed. The league made a rule for him. They tried to make him put on a suit. Um, the crossover he gave Michael,
Well, which one? The first one or the second one?
the first one, that first one, that first one, and I mean that first one. Michael, get up on him. That
Well,
first one.
yeah, because the second one was straight ego to say, "Oh, I'm gonna do this one more again," so everybody can see, like, don't come back here.
But it was like,
Come back here.
y'all all looking, and this is what
Yeah.
y'all been waiting for, and I'm gonna give it to him, and he gonna have to take that one. The fact that he just had the nuts to go do it.
Okay.
Hall
I
of
see where
Fame,
you're going. No,
Hall of Famer for me. Hall
I
of
see where
Famer
you're
for me.
going. He's not in my top five, but I'll say he was almost, yeah, he was a trendsetter. He made it cool to rebel.
Listen,
He made it cool to rebel.
listen.
He made the braids popular again. Let's be clear, it was Latrell Sprewell, but Allen Iverson made the braids popular. No, Latrell Sprewell was the first with the braids.
Nobody was. I didn't say first for braids.
Okay.
But nobody was checking for Latrell's braids. Nobody was checking to see.
Right.
Oh, how Latrell got his hair braided right
That's
now.
true.
That's no disrespect to Latrell because Latrell
That's
smacked
true.
the shit out of you. But
Yeah,
people was checking. People was checking to see. He choked the shit out of you. But people was checking to see what Allen was doing.
That's
People
true.
was checking to see what Allen was doing. Understand though, 6 feet, 165 pounds, 914 games played, 26.7 points a game, 3.7 on the rebound, six assists, 42.5 on the field goal percentage, 31 from three. I take it. I take it. Can get in my can get on my team any
Took
day.
his team to the championship when. I mean,
And then
let's be honest. Nobody thought that team was going. I mean,
if
Eric Snow, Derek McKee,
and
that was
remember
Iverson.
that I said legendary moment. So we had the dunk off the free throw because the missed free throw. Nobody saw that coming.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but there's all you got to say is step over.
Yeah,
You know,
step over to Ron Lou. Yeah,
everybody knows what you're talking about.
yeah,
Everybody knows what you're talking about. The step
yeah,
over.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. And it's how he stepped over him. See, people don't understand. Like, I don't know if I would highly recommend everybody look at some interviews, even with Teron Lou telling that story on how Iverson was offended in that moment because he told Teron Lue, "Get in the game, dude." He said, get in the game. Like, why are you talking to me? Like, you don't even play." And Teron
listen,
continued to say things. So he's like, "Dude, like, who are you? Like, you're not even like, what? Why are you talking to me this way? Do you know who I am?" And then he in a moment,
hey, listen, I'm gonna show you something. And he showed him his handles out cold.
yeah,
Handles out cold, could shoot the three, could dunk on you, could go down and rebound in the land of the big man. I mean, in his prime, I'll put him up against anybody.
did Allen Iverson inspire the and one era?
I could see that.
He highly influenced a lot of those players. When they would say players, most of those and one players mentioned Allen Iverson. They
I
were
mean,
like AI.
he definitely brought the hip hop. You know, we talk about legendary stuff. The kiss and answer commercial, legendary. No,
He's one of my again.
he
He's
brought
not in
hip
my
hop. He definitely brought hip hop to the NBA.
he's not in my top five, but he is one of my. I have a short list of players that I say, man, I really, really wanted them to get a ring. He is number one on that list for me. I
So he's
really,
not in your
really wanted him to get one.
he's not in your top five all time. Is he in your
No,
top five point guards?
absolutely,
Fair enough.
absolutely.
But I mean, so Bubba Chuck just, and then remember, like I said, for me, it's always too the backstory. So the fact that you start plotting on him before he could even get to college,
That's a great point.
right? You,
Uh,
you,
But
you
but
saw you
but
saw this you saw this you saw this you saw this little ball of energy and disruption coming that you were trying to stop it before it even could get to college. Just
I don't.
says so much about
Yeah,
him.
I
And
don't
then to
think
see
people
him now at
understand it.
50 at
Yeah,
Reebok, a father still doing his thing, you know, just
I
just
don't
just a
think
beautiful
people
thing for
really
me.
understand in this era. This was the era where there were dominant teams, dominant big men.
Hmm.
And this man at 6 feet, listed as 6'1". I saw him in person. He didn't look 6'1" to me,
I'm thinking about
but
6 foot flat.
right, carried his team to legendary playoffs. And people not even talking about the playoff series they had against Milwaukee that year.
How many games in a row did he hit 40
Ooh, good question.
in the playoffs? Because I want to say it was almost a record or tied a record. Uh, I wanted to see him and Andre Iguodala play together one more season because they were just finna turn the corner and have something. They were just finna turn the corner and have something. I felt like, but
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't big enough for two AIs. But yeah, Allen Iverson definitely my top five. Salute, sir. Appreciate everything that you do for the game. Kobe Bean.
In my top five.
Kobe Bean.
In my
I
top
cried like
five.
I cried like a baby when he retired. I cried like
Mm,
a baby when he passed. I
mm.
felt like he was the one I grew up in basketball with.
And there it is.
more so than anybody else.
But there it is.
To watch him go
Right.
from dating Brandy or not dating Brandy to a husband and a father and all the stuff that came in
Well,
between was
well,
just a
don't
pure
forget.
joy.
Well, don't forget. He said he bagged his car up a few times for Beyonce, and we said, "Well,
I
I
mean,
bagged my
hey,
car up a few times." Just to say.
hey, I mean, shoot your shot, Cole.
Remember, he was
Shoot
in
your shot.
the Destiny's Child video in the locker room.
Oh yeah,
You
yeah, yeah.
know,
Yeah.
so
He Cole had a rap Cole had a rap career. Um I know people give him a lot of
what did he say?
flack.
A tear from my eye.
You are silly. People give Cole a lot of flack for being like I think they thought he was awkward. They thought he was weird. He was just different.
Kobe say, a tear from her eye.
Leave my man alone, man. Big Cole, man. They give him a lot of flack for saying he imitated Jordan.
No.
No, and I'm okay if you say that. I mean, I've seen the videos where he's doing exactly the same stuff that Jordan did, same moves, no problem. Because my thing is, if he did imitate everything that Michael Jordan did, that is amazing. Because I don't know a whole lot of people that could imitate even one thing that
Mm-hmm.
Michael Jordan was able to do.
Mm-hmm.
But Kobe dropped, was it 81?
Yeah, he dropped 81 on the Toronto Raptors.
Yeah, I don't think. I don't
Another
think. I don't think.
entertaining.
I don't even think Jordan ever scored 70.
No,
69, close. I think he
69
got.
was the highest, I think. 63, then 69, I believe, was the highest he got. But another entertaining, because I'm a Detroit native, you have to look at the video, the interview with Jalen Rose, who was a Toronto Raptor at the time, giving the experience of Kobe dropping 81 primarily on him.
Oh, I would love. I'm gonna have to look that up. Have you ever watched him? Have you ever watched? I think Spike Lee shot a movie with Kobe.
Yes, absolutely.
Where he details his game. I think that may be where detail came from because that was the first time, and he detailed
Good
his own game.
call. It is.
Right. So
I remember a scene from there, and this is like, I'm gonna say pause. People like to say the whole pause thing, but I remember Spike Lee saying he named the amount of cameras. He said, "I want you all to get close up and get the definition of his body when he makes his moves, when he makes his cuts." He said, "I want to see all of the defining points of this poetry and motion when he's playing." And if you look at that documentary, it is one of the most beautifully shot documentaries that I've ever seen on a basketball court. One of the best I've ever seen.
and it goes without saying, another basketball savant. Just different, just cut from a different cloth.
But you called it though, Cess. He's Kobe. There's very few players where you say you grew up in eras. He's one of those where it's like people say they'll refer to it as I grew up in the Kobe era. Like that's how people refer to it.
I grew up in basketball with him, where sometimes I felt like he was my brother, and sometimes I felt like he was my son.
Exactly.
Like,
exactly.
Yeah, just. I mean,
if you were building,
he's got 5 of those things.
Exactly.
And I want to just shout out. I don't know if his wife has anything to do with it, but whoever put together the start of those Mamba mentality commercials just started.
Love it.
On Christmas Day. Wow, great stuff there. Looking forward to seeing where that's going.
Love it.
It was good to just to see him and to be thinking about him again on Christmas Day, because he gave us some goodies on Christmas.
But just Mamba mentality, like what a phrase, what a catchphrase, Mamba mentality. And you have
that's just
shots
Mamba,
of him lifting weights, and
you know what I was gonna say. It may still be the Kobe era. Like, these young people are wearing Kobe's. They're, Steph just signed his first athlete to his shoe deal.
And I'm gonna say this: can we say that he was the first that made low tops cool to hoop in? Because I
Man,
remember
I
saying,
remember
who
I
started
remember an
wearing low
interview.
tops hooping?
I remember the interview where he said that he had did the he had been watching soccer, and he was like, they do more running than anybody else, and they don't wear high tops, so I don't have to wear high tops, and that started him down this rabbit hole of designing his low top.
Which still, they just released the Grinch, which
Oh yeah,
sold out promptly.
I mean what did he get? Did he get an Emmy
Yeah,
for
for details.
no for his love letter to basketball?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Um, deep thinker, gamer, cold killer.
He's one of
Wanted
those
to tell
players where you say,
he wanted to tear your heart out.
yeah, he's one of those players where we'll always hear some type of comparison of somebody's game on draft day to a Kobe Bryant.
I don't know if I know another player that retired two numbers, and
Mm,
he was a Hall of Famer as 8 before he even got to 24. He was a Hall of
mm.
Famer at 8, so he had pretty much two Hall of Fame careers, and one is how
And
I
he's
look
one
at
of
it.
those players where if he was on the court, there was always a chance that they were going to win. You can't say that about a lot of players. I don't
Like
care
you can
who they
never
were
count him
playing
out.
against.
He
I
dropped
don't
what
care who he
60?
was
What did he
playing
drop?
against.
61 on his way out.
61 on his way out.
What was so fascinating to me, and what I think made me love him even more, was all of the love and respect that I saw he got from the league and the young guys, and how many young people, young men were, even young men, young women too, because what he was doing for girls basketball, I just that made me the saddest because that was cut
Yes.
short. Um,
I
and
think he would have
I
been,
wanted to see
yeah.
what his daughter, what Gigi would have done as a player. I mean, we were just really robbed right there. But how many young people and basketball enthusiasts were in his phone, and how accessible he made himself um, to ballers.
I
Like,
think Kobe was on his way to being one of the ambassadors of the WNBA. And I say that because remember what he was doing with Ionescu. He was planting different seeds. I think Kobe was on his way to doing something big. To like he could have leveled the scales with the WNBA, with the treatment of the WNBA as opposed to the NBA. He was on his way to, you could tell he was on his way to making some waves, some equitable things, as far as like these hardworking WNBA players, compensation, the way the game is called, all types of things, even influencing some different coaches, the way they do things. Like he was on his way. He was on his way to doing something like that. I agree, especially with the best interest of his daughter, who clearly would have made the WNBA, and probably would have been a player we never seen before, in the WNBA. I remember an interview where he said, they said, well, how do you explain your effectiveness and how good you are? He said, just like with my daughter, he said, it's math. And they looked confused. He said, you have so many hours in the day, right? He said, if you wake up every day and you put in 3 hours of work, do the math. How could you not be great at something if you practice it every day? He said, that's what I do with my
numbers.
daughter. Yeah, he said, that's what I do with my daughter. He said, every day we wake up, the first thing we do after breakfast is we go shoot. He said, that's what we do. We practice. So it's like, and it
I
was
just
almost, he said it so as a matter of fact, like, what do you
oh
mean?
yeah,
Like, this is what we do every day.
that's what Gilbert Arenas was on. Gilbert Arenas talked about something similar. Like the greats have to do more, and I think he said one summer he shot like 100,000 shots because the math said that's what he needed to do to improve his shooting percentage just
Yeah.
1%.
Yeah.
He had to shoot 100,000 shots in the
Yeah.
summer. So I can't say enough about Kobe. We'll do a deeper dive on Kobe.
Definitely worth his own show.
The game misses Kobe. We need Kobe right now.
Yes.
He was definitely he was definitely the bridge that we had built between the two eras, and we're losing some of that stuff with him gone. There's some that are trying to hold on to it, but Um, you know, game changer. I mean, and the fire in this kid, man. Like, I want to do it without Shaq. And I mean, Shaq will fight if he wants to. Shaq is 7 foot, all of you. You know what I mean? And Kobe was down to go fight. Just um, natural born leader.
Yeah.
Um, and he wasn't a good teammate at first. He wasn't a good teammate at first. Like, we had to watch Kobe grow up and come out of his shell, and but you could always count on him in between the lines.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I didn't realize that he had took a meeting with Isaiah Thomas in the New York Knicks and
Oh yeah.
went there to talk about getting out of. I thought that he had only went to Chicago,
No, it
that
was
he had
New
only thought
York,
Chicago.
and then remember that was when the team in China, I believe, offered him 50 million for one season. He started
Mm-hmm.
entertaining international money. So again, he created a new era. He was one of the first players you heard about that was that valuable overseas. So what happened? Players started saying, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, wait a minute, it might be something here." More and more players that aren't getting the money they want here. Guess what they doing? Stephon Marbury, they going overseas. Hey, I can get some money over here. I can be, I think he said that in his documentary. Like, hey, I can go over here and make money. They offered him 50 million for one season. Probably not even worth what they were going to get in return for an international star like Kobe to be over there. But he set that trend too. Like, hey, look, I have value elsewhere. Give me what I want, or I will leave.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And he knew
Oh,
New York was the only market that was as big as LA that could give him, you know, the money and the time. Imagine that New York. Oh my, wow. What if they need to have, instead of what if for Marvel, they need to have some what ifs.
I hate that we didn't get to see what this kid had in mind and in store for us. He
I
was
think he was going to be. I think he was going to be a very respected published author. I think he was going to write several more pieces that were going to, really do well. I think that he was going to probably look into some ownership. What team? I don't know. I think he probably would have done that
WNBA.
too. Yep, yep. I think that's where he was going with it. Yeah.
Yeah, but Kobe me definitely in my top five. So he throwed him.
Ooh, he throwed him.
He throwed him. Lansing, Michigan zone.
Definitely in my top five.
Everett High School zone. Michigan State's own. Irvin Magic Johnson on my top five all time. Big guy. Nothing but love
Absolutely.
for him.
Absolutely.
So, interesting thing about me and Magic is he was basketball first for me. So, my dad played at Michigan State. So, he had the honor of being able to go back and still work out at Michigan State and knew Magic as a young player uh, that afforded me a few opportunities. So, Magic had a house with Charles Tucker. I'll never forget it. It was the first house I seen with a basketball hoop in it, full basketball court, and like a little shower or something at the end. And then out the back, sliding glass doors, it was a tennis court. And he stayed off Moores River Drive in Lansing, not too far from, I want to say Jay Vincent stayed in the neighborhood, not too far. Say Jay or Sam, not too far from there, because they stayed like around the corner from us. But ball players went there and got Converse. Magic was had the weapons, so you go by there and you get some shoes, talk some trash, catch Magic there. Magic also did a basketball camp, and I was always too young to go to the camp, but I would sneak and go for a day or two with my cousin and see the players, and then they always did in the camp basketball game where Magic's homies would come and play. So Byron Scott, Isaiah Thomas, you never know who was in town. It was just a
Mm-hmm.
good time because they was out of season. And then we had educational camp. Magic did an educational camp
Ooh, he throwed him.
that I went to.
Really?
And
Wow.
yeah, Magic had an educational camp in Lansing that I had the opportunity to go to. Matter of fact, I went 2 seasons. I went 2 summers in a row. In the second season, I got most improved camper because I was terrible the first camp. I
So
didn't
that's
want to
been
follow
holding
no
out. This is my
rules.
first time hearing this story. Please continue.
So I ended up with a pair of
Not a
Converse
surprise.
weapons
That's not a surprise.
and an autographed book about Magic. It was called Magic. It was the book, right? They wrote the book. It started off with him talking about being called Tragic Magic. I don't know where the stuff is now. I wish I would held on to it, but like he gave it to me in person. But we've had these moments where I continue to run into him in different parts of my life, but it always comes back to this Lansing, Michigan thing. So the thing I remember most about Magic was he had this commercial for Quality Dairy in Lansing where he would do this hook shot and throw the trash in the trash can. For real. And I guess a picture of me somewhere with a Magic Johnson camp shirt on and a hat, dunking the basketball. I'm gonna have to try to find it. Dunking the basketball, Nerf ball, in the indoor hoop. So he's on my top five for just being the beginning, the introduction to basketball. I mean, all of those other great things that he did, but for me, he was the introduction to NBA professional basketball. Like he was that roadway into Isaiah and Michael and this whole great world of all of these great ballers, like legendary for me. So bigger than basketball. And then
Yeah.
he just turned into such a outstanding businessman. Um,
Mm-hmm.
from the stuff that he did with Washington Mutual, trying to help people get mortgages and get houses, to owning his own theater, to all of the great stuff that he's doing now through his foundations and stuff.
Yeah. He's in my top five for some of the same reasons you said, but I just remember all of the tall guys wanted to be point guards. That was always like the coolest position on the court back in the day was point guard. You had a ball in your hand. And seeing someone at 6'9" handle the ball like someone 6 feet, controlling the game like he did, and having the same type of game from college when he was at Michigan State was just something I had never seen before. We would watch the videos, VHS, everybody, for those that are from that era, of the no-look passes, the showtime passes. This is the player that I would watch and go outside and try to imitate the passes and the shots, the
I mean,
no-look.
he was the total package.
Yeah,
He was the
he was
total
the
package.
guy. He was the
Showtime in
one.
the bottom.
Yes, he was the one you would try. How did he do that? How did he see that player? How did he do these things? Now, despite being a Pistons fan, I was always a Magic Johnson fan. Always a Magic Johnson fan. I was always pulling for Magic Johnson, whoever he played against. So, yeah, uh, yeah, and underrated on defense too. Magic played defense. You
Great
know,
trash talker. Great trash
leader,
talker.
leader.
Um,
He made it cool to make players better. He
Mr. Go
was,
get it done. Mr. Go get it done.
but he
Kareem's
was,
out.
yeah,
Kareem's
but he
out.
was
I'm a,
one.
I'm a,
Yeah,
I'm gonna handle it.
but he was one of those people where it's like it was cool if you didn't take a lot of shots. If I could give somebody a
Oh
sweet
yeah, he's.
dime, if
Oh,
I could give somebody a dime, I was liking that more now
but
than
that was him.
scoring. He
Yeah.
made that cool. He made it cool to do that.
Oh yeah, for sure. But also just winner. 5 of them things.
5 of them.
Winner, winner.
Played all 5 positions the first year they won
If you
the
didn't see,
championship.
that game, what was it, 6 when Kareem was out?
Yep.
If you didn't see game 6 that rookie put down them numbers, it's definitely one to see. It's definitely one to see. Coach, I know we're gonna let you get out of here. When we come back, we're gonna get to his airness. We're gonna get to his airness.
Also, my top five. So if you're
What's
wondering,
going on?
audience, my top five: MJ, Shaq, Zeke, Kobe, Magic. That's my five.
We're gonna get to his airness on the next go round. And one of the things that I'm gonna talk about Michael is something that's really, 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 really close to my heart is this narrative that they have that he doesn't do enough for Black America.
What? Wow.
How his shoes is $200. What does he do? Republicans buy shoes too. I don't think that people realize economically the difference that this man has made through his companies, and that's part of why he's in my top 5 because that's something strategically that he's done. And I get enough of that. He don't do nothing for Black folks. This man has a foundation. Uh, he's employed probably more presidents, vice presidents, executives in his company than I give any other Fortune 500 company. He definitely diversified Nike. So I'll put that up against anything, any I can't breathe shirt or Black Lives Matter ban or words that I get put on the court.
Hey, here's something
Uh,
funny. Was I the only person that was excited? Did you see that new Jordan commercial? Was I the only one that was
uh,
excited when it had Zion and everybody in it? And at the very end, it was supposed to be like this camp. They were walking through the city. At the very end, Jordan walks out and says, "Everybody having a good time?" Why did I get
oh yeah,
excited
yeah,
when
oh yeah,
I was
yeah.
like Jordan?
And it
I'm
was
like
like they was like,
Jordan.
oh yeah, they was like, yeah, we good, yeah.
But I was
I did see
excited at
that.
home, like because you rarely see Jordan in commercials anymore. He's that.
They said they didn't know if he was coming to the top 75. It was like I
Yeah,
told you. If you go, if you pull it up, they was like somebody was talking about it too. Like we didn't even know if he was gonna come. So we're gonna start right here. Uh, next show. But with that, oh yeah. Show off that Lions hat one more time. And y'all know what it
I'm
is.
coming for you, Cowboys.
Hit the subscribe, hit the notification, like, share, join the conversation. Until next time, stay tuned. Talk soon. We out.